You think you can handle a D in you, though?
Probably.
I'm not average size, though.
Everyone else does. I only saw one, so I don't know what average size means.
You know how big it was? In inches?
Well, I actually didn't have my ruler with me that night. What do you guys do, sit around and measure your junk?
Yes, we do.
Cool.
You have money?
Yeah?
You gonna help me out with gas?
Well, sure.
Young love, it's a beautiful thing. Seriously though, even Lauren didn't ask Kayla to pitch in for gas money. Jesus, Marvin. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the second half of the Fort Myers sting. If you liked the first one, well, you probably should just go watch that one again. No, I'm kidding. You folks are only encouraging me to keep going, and that's what I intend to do. So, with that...
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Tonight on To Catch a Predator.
They're online and on the prowl, grown men targeting children on the internet. Good evening and welcome to Dateline. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. This month, millions of people have been watching our investigations into computer sex predators, among them some of the suspected predators themselves. And what's most surprising...
Ann, doll, you're killing me. It is well known that I have a thing for you. Then you go and adopt the Laura Petrie hairstyle? You see, folks, Laura Petrie was a character played by the late Mary Tyler Moore. Even though that portrayal was before my time, I grew up catching the occasional rerun of the Dick Van Dyke Show. That Rob Petrie was a lucky man. But he was a bumbling buffoon. How he was able to hook up with Laura is a mystery. I suppose this is as good a time as any to share my Desert Island 5. You see, in my 20s, some friends and I had a fun way to objectify the fairer sex. We each had a list of 5 women that we would choose to be deserted on an island with. These women could be from any era, so, for example, my Desert Island 5. Number 1. Dick Van Dyke era Mary Tyler Moore. She can fire those ICBMs at me anytime. Number 2, a bit generic perhaps, 90s era Claudia Schiffer. Number 3, Juliette Lewis. Number 4, Drew Barrymore. The Rolling Stone article sealed the deal on that choice. And number 5, this one may be surprising, the Honeymooners Alice Cramden, Miss Audrey Meadows. So, now we see why Ann Curry sporting the Laura Petrie hairstyle makes my heart hurt. You know, come to think of it, let's shake things up on the island. Claudia, it's been real. Hit the road. Ann, welcome aboard.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
A number of these individuals traveled quite a ways.
Hilton Daniels is the chief of police in Fort Myers.
I believe the furthest one drove 223 miles to Fort Myers to have sex with a child.
Chief Daniels says it's frightening to think what would have happened if there really had been a child home alone.
Anything could have happened in that house. The person would have cleaned up.
Oh my god, yeah. He could have wiped up with a tissue. Gross. And of course it's gross. The subject matter is stomach-turning. The beauty here, and with the entire series, is that none of these men were able to succeed in their dastardly plans. It's how we are able to justify the glorification of To Catch a Predator. These are the ultimate fail videos. I mean, seeing Lauren realize his plans have backfired on him is like watching a bully get a well-deserved thrashing, or seeing a shoplifter get busted, or more recently, seeing a peaceful protester unsuccessfully impeding the flow of traffic. Whee! How was the flight, Skylar? Now, where were we? Oh yes, we were just...
The person would have cleaned up.
Wiping up. Ew.
Once an adult starts messaging, a decoy will often pretend to be home alone and willing to have sex.
He has a case of perhaps Bud Light or something.
A freaking case of beer. A case. What can a 14-year-old be counted on to drink in the span of an evening? 1 beer?
There he goes. He heard you. He's coming. He's coming fast.
This man shows up to a house he's never been to before to keep a date with a girl he's never met. He walks into the backyard and knocks on the wrong door. No one answers, so he makes a call. No one answers the phone either. Finally, he hears our decoy and heads inside.
And then he leaves his beer and duffel bag on the neighbor's steps, apparently. Brilliant.
Where you at?
I'm just gonna change my shirt real quick.
Like when?
Sit down on the chair and eat some cookies. I just have to change real quick.
The man who's come into our house is 23-year-old Raul Antonio Brenes, screen name Antonio69929, an assembly worker. He met a girl posing as a 14-year-old online and asks her if she's ever had anal sex. She says no, and then he types, "Would you ever do it?" He also asks her,
"How many rounds can you last?"
I don't know.
Would you be able to have sex and take a break until you get tired, or could it be an all-night thing?
I guess we'll see.
I just want to make sure you can handle me.
I have a theory that guys who ask, "How many rounds can you last?" or "I hope you can keep up with me," are two pump chumps at best.
To keep his date, he actually got on a bus and rode across the state of Florida. But instead of finding a minor alone, he meets me.
Sure. Why don't you have a seat right over there, please? How was your bus ride?
Good.
How long were you on the bus?
Wow, sir.
How many hours about?
About 4.
And what else did Antonio69929 bring with him?
Did you bring condoms with you?
It's in my bag. I always bring them with me.
You always bring condoms?
Yes, sir.
You show up with beer, you show up with condoms. After a sexually charged online conversation, you say, "Are you sure you can handle me?" You ask her if she's cool about having sex with you.
I'm guilty of whatever is there, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm guilty of whatever is there.
Oh man, my old boss, years ago, he had a saying, "You don't want to step on your own dick." Meaning, don't make things tough for yourself. Dudes like this, you know who it reminds me of? Walter Babst.
I'm under arrest?
No, I want to talk to you. Go ahead, have a seat.
I knew it. Go ahead and bust.
You knew what? No, just sit tight. And what are you doing here?
Getting my ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked?
Yeah.
That guy, almost sick son of a bitch, he handed the prosecutor the case with a beautiful bow.
I'm guilty of whatever is there, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm guilty of whatever is there.
I'm guilty of whatever is there. That is probably difficult to defend before a judge.
And what could he be guilty of in the state of Florida? Using the internet to attempt to solicit a minor for sex. A felony.
Not appropriate at all, sir.
Why did you do it?
Just me being dumb.
What do you think should happen to you, Antonio?
I think I should get a death penalty, sir.
Oh, it is totally Walter Babst.
I need you to just arrest me and take me to jail and execute.
I need to talk to you first.
He'll find out shortly he does have a date before a judge.
I'm printing out right now everything.
Dell with the ponytails. I don't know, that seems too feminine for Dell. It contradicts the skater boy look that she usually sports. Pick a side, Dell. Stop being greedy.
They're staked out in the guest house behind our house. In the case of Antonio69929, there's enough evidence for an arrest.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet children on the internet.
So after I tell him he's going to be on Dateline,
so you're free to leave.
Get on the ground! Get down!
He gets arrested.
Oh, here we go.
And taken away in an unmarked police car. Then he's brought to this transfer station.
Oh, transfer station, really? Don't you mean a patrol car parked on the grass outside some condos? Yeah.
And bail is set.
There is probable cause as to all charges. There'll be a $40,000 bond.
$40,000 bond deposit. That's pretty much across the board with these guys, $40K. I believe that means that they have to come up with $4,000 and a bondsman that will take their money. There are actually a couple predators in this sting that have bonds set a bit higher. See if you can figure out which two predators from Fort Myers get a bond higher than $40,000.
His story is only one in a long line of potential predators who come knocking on our door.
730's here. Here he's coming in.
And as you'll see, some seem prepared to do things that police find quite disturbing.
The one that bothered me the most was the guy that showed up with rope and duct tape in his vehicle.
Remember this man's words. I invite you, the viewer, to decide by the end of all this, who among these predators bothered you the most?
When we return, you'll meet that man. What was he really planning?
You talk about using the rope in various sex acts with this 15-year-old girl.
And later, no shirt, no pants, and nowhere to hide from our hidden cameras.
Marvin, you're naked.
To Catch a Predator continues in a moment.
On the first day alone, 10 men show up at our undercover house in Fort Myers, Florida, where supposedly a young teen is home by herself and ready to have sex.
Here he comes, here he comes. Copy that. Wave him up. Get him in.
This is Brian Gosselin, screen name Bay Jones.
Brian Gosselin, one of the weirdest looking predators. I mean, I'm placing him right up there with Palumbo, Kennelly, Siebert. He just has an odd look. I don't know what you call that hairdo. It looks like he uses a wood grainer to get the look.
He's here to meet a girl who said online she was 15. He lied to her about his age, claiming to be 24. He's really 32. And based on what he had to say online, want to blank my brains out, it's not hard to guess why he's here.
I got some wine coolers.
Wine coolers are just fine.
You weren't kidding when you said a big house.
I know, the house is beautiful. I love my house.
Yeah. Are you the only child?
Yeah. Oh, did you bring protection?
Yeah.
And there's our contender for creepiest predator comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's up there with Dupé's.
Hey, baby.
And
I'm outside.
Perfect.
The only bad news about that is you're probably not going to need that type of protection tonight.
well, this is one of the scarier entrances Hansen makes in the entire series. What I mean by that is, in my mind, not knowing who this super tall, well-dressed individual is that came through the door, I would probably think mobster.
That'll teach us to get ideas.
Especially with the comment, the problem is you're probably not going to need that sort of protection. As in, you're going to need someone to protect you from the assault that is about to occur. Or, you're going to need something to protect your head and face as we beat and stomp you. That's why I say it's a scary entrance. Bay Jones, however, doesn't seem to be fazed in the slightest. He starts giving smart aleck responses right out of the gate.
See, I knew this was going to be a setup.
You did?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Just because of the way she was talking online.
Brian, what's your last name?
I don't have a last name. All right, I'll just leave, I guess.
No, I'm not finished asking questions yet. Sir?
I'm not wanted here.
But most men who show up at our house are willing to talk.
He is on the steps, opening the door.
Like this man, 30-year-old Kenneth Fortin.
Can I tie you up?
You got like ropes and stuff?
Yeah, I work construction, so I have all kinds of stuff. But if you like rope, I'll bring rope.
And where?
So did he actually bring rope?
Rob, go ahead. Chris has him.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Would you have a seat over in that chair, please?
He says he's here to meet a girl, but he can't remember her name, and he's a little vague about her age.
Rather young.
Kenneth here has a body abnormality. Now, I don't want to call it out directly, lest I be accused of body shaming. Instead, I will give some cryptic hints. If you think real hard on it, I think you'll be able to pick up what I'm putting down.
And how old are you?
30.
And it's okay for a 30-year-old man to come to a home where a 15-year-old girl is alone. Why?
No, it's not okay.
Did you bring rope with you tonight?
I have rope in my car.
You have rope in your car?
Yes, for my job.
What would have happened if a 15-year-old girl was here and I wasn't?
Same thing that's happening now, just talking.
Well, check out Southern Aphrodite, or whoever this is, taking a photo of the monitor. At this point, we were still years away from digital cameras taking 4K quality images. But she's just snapping away, Like at some point in the future, anyone is going to delight in the blurry, blown-out photo of what appears to be the bright white glow of a computer monitor.
He's nervous. He's in front of this. Call out, call out.
Hey, come on in!
He heard, put the soap on. Awesome, back away. He's opening the door. He's in the laundry room.
Lenny? Here comes 22-year-old Elias Balon, screen name Daytona02, a small business owner. He's been chatting online with a girl posing as a 14-year-old named Lainey. She asks him if he'll bring her vodka and let her drive his car. He says, "Whatever you want, sweetie." And when Lainey tells him her bedroom is hot, he types, "You hot, mommy? Let's make love."
I grew up in Southern California. The influence from Mexican culture is undeniable in just about every situation I experience on a daily basis. From the foods I eat to the slang I use, I get down with Chicano culture. Lowriders, fiestas, siestas. But I'll tell you, one thing that has always bugged me is the mommy and poppy sweet talk. It just weirds me out. Well, that and the chola eyebrows. No bueno, mommy.
Just take a seat, I'll be right there. I made you some cookies. Did you bring me my drinks?
Can you come out?
Yeah, I'll be right there. I just gotta change.
Would you do me a favor and come on in? Will you bring your stuff in?
It looks as if Daytona02 has come bearing gifts.
What have we got here?
A rose.
His gift of a rose would be kind of sweet were he an appropriately aged suitor. But because he is not appropriately aged, we all know that his crappy little rose was an impulse buy at the register where he was purchasing condoms earlier.
So you brought a rose, alcohol, and some condoms. What does that add up to?
I know, sir.
Then he reveals something we didn't know.
I knew if something would happen like this, I would get in trouble because I'm married.
You're married?
Yes, sir. But I really love her. The thing is that they think that we don't get along sometimes.
Now, what do you think she would say if she knew that you were coming here to have sex with a 14-year-old girl?
She would kill me. I don't want to think about it. She would kill me. Yes, sir. I would get a divorce. Her dad has 10 brothers.
10 brothers?
They would kill me.
They'll all be looking for you.
I believe that is an actual sigh of despair. I like to imagine that he's thinking of those 10 brothers at that very moment.
Daytona02 says he knew he was taking a big risk and worried this might be a setup.
So you saw it on Dateline NBC?
Yeah, news. Just news. Yeah. I didn't, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to happen.
He still doesn't appear to know he's landed in the middle of a Dateline investigation, but he'll find out a little later.
Okay, he's in the driveway. Battle station, coming in. Everybody.
This is him. It's Lee Greer. It's Lee Greer.
Look at Dell, so full of spunk. It's Lee Greer, it's Lee Greer. Way to go, Dell. She's got her rally cap on.
It's Lee Greer 74 are 1 o'clock. I know who it is.
Now, here comes another married man. He's 31-year-old Lee Greer, screen name Lee Greer 74. He's away from home on business, and he's been chatting online with a 13-year-old. At least that's what the decoy told him. He sends her a picture of his penis and then types, "You will get to see the real thing, you know, in person."
He's on the back door, his porch, opening the door.
Did you bring the food?
Yeah.
Okay, great. What did you bring?
Double cheeseburgers with no pickles.
Every one of these guys has their catchphrase. Lee's, of course, being
double cheeseburgers with no pickles.
I have created a visual representation of the words from this poet laureate on the latest shirt design over at BakedSalmon's closet. The front displays a very clear double cheeseburger, while the back implies that there are no pickles present. It's really about as low-key as you can get in displaying your TCAP fandom while maintaining your secrecy. BakedSalmon's closet, located in the Galleria Mall off the 110 bypass at Willow Grove Avenue. Now open Sundays. A link to BakedSalmon's closet is in the description.
All right, I got some fries, but the fries might be cold.
So no cookies for you? What's going on?
Not much. Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Lee.
And Lee, what are you doing here?
Come to visit a friend off the net, I thought.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
How's this going to go over at home?
Not good. I'd really like for it not to go home. Really, sir?
As we told you before, he won't get off that easy.
Everything that you've done since you pulled up here has been recorded on camera.
Oh, Lord.
Neither will the next potential predators you're about to meet.
Where are you?
Coming up, he's the father of 2 teenage children, but that didn't stop him from making a date with our decoy, posing as another teen.
What was your plan here with this 14-year-old boy?
I mean, we talked about sex and stuff like that, and then...
Sure did.
When To Catch a Predator continues.
During our undercover investigation here in Fort Myers, Florida, there's been a steady stream of potential predators arriving to keep their dates with someone who told them they were a young teen. And there's still one more day to go.
Approaching the back door. He's coming through.
Some come looking not for girls, but for boys.
A gay guy in a Miata? Well, now I've seen everything.
Meet 23-year-old Ryan McIntosh, screen name QX4Boy 19. He owns a high-end dog boutique. He's here to meet a boy who told him online he was 14. Dell from Perverted Justice, playing the male decoy, invites him in and scoots behind the door before he sees her.
We'll watch TV or something. I'll be right back out, all right?
All right.
Do you want to see the perfect example of a grimace? Check this out.
Why don't you make yourself at home here? Have a seat.
I would say this is the greatest facial reaction of any predator ever. It's subtle, but man, does it telegraph what he is feeling.
What's going on?
Not much, how are you?
Like many other men caught in our investigations, QX4Boy 19 insists he didn't come here for sex with a young teen.
I was just going over to hang out, and I felt like I'd be more big brother more than anything. I do
Big brother?
Yeah,
So you're coming over to be a mentor?
In a way, yes.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
And I'm sure you've heard that 20 billion times.
20 billion and 1, counting to 9.
I had no intention of having sex with him tonight.
Why include the qualifier tonight?
I wasn't going to rape him tonight.
He does it twice in this interview.
What were you going to do?
Just hang out.
But his chat log doesn't make it sound like he was just here to hang out.
You talk about penis size. You talk about hooking up, and you say, if you don't tell anybody, you my
I said that?
And then you say, I don't want to go to jail.
QX4Boy 19 sits and talks to me for more than 10 minutes. Then amazingly, when I start to tell him who I am...
Well, I gotta tell you...
He already knows.
NBC, I know. And you know.
Oh, I know. I've known the entire time. I knew before I even talked to anyone in the chat room. I've known since I was born. I know the 2 men coming behind me are dressed the same. I know there are cops outside. I know that Dell was portraying the child I came to meet. Props to Dell, by the way. She really sold it. I know everything that will ever happen to anyone, anywhere, ever.
Here comes another man who's seen our previous broadcasts.
He's in the laundry room. He's in the kitchen, coming towards the living room.
His name is Dallas Lee. He's been chatting online in an AOL gay chat room with a boy posing as a 14-year-old. It takes him less than 7 minutes to ask the boy if he wants oral sex. The decoy says, okay, cool. And a few hours later, he's walking into our living room.
You know what that means?
Hello?
Patrick, my lad, what's buzzing, cousin?
Oh, how'd you get my number?
I don't remember. Grinder or something? What I'm calling about is that thing that you always say. You know that thing? I want to get you to say it for my video. Do you mind?
What do you mean saying it? You mean like good new?
No, not a Lornism. It's a Hanson quote.
Oh, a quote from Hanson. Remember 43-year-old James Klein? Online, he made plans to lick a 15-year-old all over. You mean that one?
No, dude. The one that you always say about predators who show up soon after speaking with the decoy for the first time.
You mean, he's what Perverted Justice call a fast mover. I don't really say that all the time. I've said that like
Thanks, dude.
twice.
That's right. Dallas Lee is a fast mover.
I'm finishing it right. Hang out the table for a second, okay?
Yeah.
So you're pumped too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is so pumped. He can hardly contain his excitement. You know, you ought to switch to decaf there, Dally. You're coming across a little psyched up.
So what were you so pumped for?
Oh, not too much.
Why don't you have a seat right on the stool there? What you doing here?
He invited me over.
Who is he?
Tony.
Tony. What was your plan here?
I mean, we talked about sex and stuff like that, and then
You sure did.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got 2 kids of my own. We can hang out.
Now, how would you feel if your daughter, at the age of 15, was home alone and a man came to visit her?
Honestly, terrible.
Yeah.
You know.
And so why is it okay for you?
It's not. You're
to come
absolutely
here?
right. Honestly, it's not. You know, but I was not even set the sex aside.
He says he knows it looks bad, but he really wanted to be a father figure to the boy who told him he didn't have a dad. But if that's so, why did he tell the boy he was 20 years old when he's really 40?
I understand. I understand what you're coming from.
He also understands something else.
You are every parent's worst nightmare.
Exactly. I understand what you're saying. You're right. I guarantee you it's never going to happen again.
He's coming in, walking.
And there's still another man who comes to the house.
Whoa, hold on a second. Grandpa?
Claiming he's really here to help.
Bottom step in the laundry room.
Where are you? I'm right here. I got fish and change. I'll be right there.
He's 61-year-old Thomas Campbell, J1H 3120.
Man, the lies that they must tell themselves. When in history did any child, male or female, gay or straight, ever think a guy this old was exactly what they needed to explore their budding sexuality? It boggles the mind.
He's been chatting online with a decoy posing as a 14-year-old. He graphically describes how he likes to give oral sex to young men. The decoy asks, "Is that like your favorite to do?" And J1H 3120 says, "Yep." And from what most say, it's the best they've had.
No. Where are you at?
I'm right here. I just got a fish and change. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to confuse you.
Moving pretty quick there. Why don't you have a seat right over there?
Okay.
Dude, he is so diminutive next to Chris. How great would it be if Chris rested his hand on his head and just steered him back to the stool?
There?
Huh?
Where were you headed? Just
talk with him.
Just talk with who?
Tony?
Online, he lists his age as being in his 40s. Later, we learn the truth.
I'm 61.
The man starts to have a bit of an asthma attack.
Look out, Chris. I think he may be doing poppers.
He uses his inhaler and says he's fine.
The hands on the head, I think it's a submissive pose, like a wimpy dog rolling on its back and pissing all over itself. This pose says, "I'm not a threat. Please don't hurt me." Either that or it's a signal for the Illuminati.
When I was younger.
So you were here to mentor this boy?
If I could, yeah. If I could, you know. I don't mind helping.
Ah, you were here to mentor the boy. Yes, I don't mind helping. Boy, what a selfless act. You know, my eyes don't see too well, folks. Is that Mother Teresa?
But that's not how the conversation went on the internet, is it?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You say, "I love to a young man, deep and him."
Okay.
That was a killer string of expletives. Let's see what the chat log actually said.
You say, "I love to a young man, deep and him."
Well, let's face it, some people have a way with words, other people, not have a way.
Do you recall that?
I believe so. This was...
Well, I have the whole transcript here.
A few days ago.
Yeah. You'd absolutely love it. I'm in my 40s, but guarantee that I'm not some old guy wanting to perv a young boy. Well, the reality is that you are older.
Uh-huh.
And what's going on here seems pretty pervy, doesn't it?
It does.
So this is the first time you've ever done something like this?
Oh, yeah.
This is my first time. This is my first one.
She's the first person I ever considered meeting.
I never done this. Like,
you know, I hear that from virtually every person who has walked into this house?
Never have.
Never have I met anyone underage. I will swear on my mother's grave, never.
And there's something else I hear over and over.
Did you bring condoms today?
I always carry them on me.
Did you bring condoms with you?
I always keep condoms with me.
I have them, yeah. I always carry them.
I just carry everywhere with me.
There's some in the car.
Just happen to be some in the glove box.
No, I always have condoms anywhere I go. A person would have to be an idiot not to because of diseases.
While most are willing to talk when they don't know they're being recorded on hidden camera,
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story about adults meeting teens on the internet.
And just like this man, a mental health counselor for teenagers, when the cameras come out, the potential predators often scurry.
I'm not going to be on TV.
I have to ask here, what good is the boom mic? Is that necessary? I notice this all the time. It's not as if the audio is poor. You can hear the moisture in their eyes when they blink. No, you can't, but you can hear them swallow. Alright, you can't, but you can hear the moisture in their mouths. I mean, give the boom mic guy a break. It's probably not even plugged in.
You're obviously free to walk right out of the door that you came in.
I would like to walk out.
I still want my face to be seen.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us, we'd like to hear it.
I just made a mistake. And I won't do it again. For sure.
And then there were the men who had already seen some of our Dateline computer predator investigations.
I seen one previous, maybe a month ago.
Okay. And that didn't make you think twice about coming over here to meet a 14-year-old?
No. I wasn't coming over to have sex with him tonight. Or do anything with him. I was just coming to talk to him.
And because he's seen a previous broadcast, he remembers what happens next.
I'm gonna walk out and they're gonna cops will be out there.
That's not up to me.
No, yeah. Okay, thank you.
And just as he suspected, the police are waiting to arrest him.
Get down on the ground.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
Sometimes, yes. I've seen that.
You've seen the computer predator stories?
Yeah.
Well, this is one of them.
Oh, lovely.
As soon as the men leave our house, police work quickly and sometimes aggressively, taking the suspects down to the ground. That's because in Florida, it's relatively easy to get a permit to carry a concealed weapon. So these officers aren't taking any chances.
Anybody get hurt in the takedowns?
No, 24 people and no one was injured. All the officers are safe.
Let me see your hand. Oh, Lord.
As a man is being arrested, an unmarked police vehicle moves into position.
Oh, and here comes Officer Skidmark. You're doing a great job there, sir. Don't worry about the lawn. We'll take care of that. How long is this sting?
Then later, our undercover cameras capture an image that's overexposed.
You want to explain yourself?
When To Catch a Predator continues.
They're stalking the chat rooms, then knocking on the door. Welcome back to our latest investigation into computer sex predators.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
Sometimes, yes. I've seen that.
You've seen the computer predator stories?
Yeah.
Well, this is one of them.
Oh, lovely.
And there's more bad news for him when he gets outside. An officer wearing a type of camouflage to hide in the bushes jumps out and arrests him.
Police officer, on the ground! On the ground!
Gilly. Gilly.
What?
Gilly.
Sorry.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
All of the 24 men who were arrested outside our house were charged with felonies, attempted lewd and lascivious behavior with a minor, and attempting to solicit a child over the internet.
Okay, remember I mentioned the bail amount? So it's $40,000 for most of these guys. But there are at least two bozos that get the price kicked up to $50,000. That would be
David Schumacher.
They all went before a judge, and bail was set.
There's probable cause on all the charges. There's a $50,000 bond.
presumably because of his existing criminal record.
Because he's a bad boy.
The other guy that gets the $10,000 bump in his bail amount is Crazy Trini. And I can't say I argue with that decision. He truly does go the extra mile compared to the others.
What are you driving so I know to look for you?
A white pickup truck?
A white truck? Is it gray on the bottom?
I'll see you soon then, okay?
She's talking to this man, Marvin Lachan, screen name Crazy Trini 85. They met in an online chat room. Cindy tells him she's a virgin, and he sends her a picture of his genitals. Crazy Trini 85 asks her if she'll try anal sex and adds, it's better than regular sex. Then he asks her if she has a jacuzzi.
I'm a you in there. And on your mom's bed?
Why not my bed?
That too. I'm a you in every room, so no matter where you go, you'll remember me.
Trini is another big talker. Yeah, I'ma tag you in every room in the house. His jaw probably hit the floorboard when he pulled up and saw how many rooms there were in that huge house. What's the matter, CT? You said every room. He'd be lucky to get through 2 rooms. I mean, let's be real. Talking to a kid, though, he can pretty much say whatever he likes because she ain't gonna know any better. But we know, and that's the zesty cringe sauce that these chat logs are always slathered in. We can enjoy an idiot shoveling a ridiculous quantity of game because we have the benefit of existing in reality. Even if the place was a studio apartment, I'd still call BS on his statement. I'ma screw you in every room. No, you're not.
Next, he asks her if she has any pets. Cindy says she has a male cat, and you won't believe what Crazy Trini 85 asks next.
You know what would be a huge turn on for me?
What?
He wants to watch her perform a sex act on a cat. He says people do it all the time. They discuss it further on the phone, where he tells her they'll need Cool Whip.
You mean Cool Whip? Yeah, Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip.
There's like a green thing over the back door.
The decoy keeps talking to him as he walks up the driveway.
I'm gonna find my cat quick, okay? Just strip in there and I'll be out with the cat. Alright?
This is something that I just now noticed. So the blonde is talking to him on the phone as he strips down in the laundry room, right? Then, immediately after, he hears the lilting voice of a young Emily Bix talking to him from the kitchen.
Sit down on the chair and eat some cookies.
You would have to be Lauren Armstrong to not notice the discrepancy in voices. It's no wonder he goes in search of her. Thankfully, curiosity, not Cool Whip, killed the cat on this day.
You want to explain yourself? Grab that towel right there, please. Wrap it around yourself, and please sit in that stool. What are you doing?
Making a mistake.
Making a mistake? What is going on in your mind? You know what would be a huge turn on for me? What? Watching you blank him, meaning the cat. She says, I don't think I want to blank the cat. Would you for me? You're going to make this 14-year-old girl perform a sex act on a cat. You're naked, there's a 14-year-old girl, you're chasing a cat around, you've got Cool Whip, and you want this girl to do some sex act with the cat and then you'll have sex with her. Is that accurate? Yes. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults, and we're doing a story we try to meet on adults, teens online. We try to meet teens online. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say about this predicament you're now in, we'd love to hear it.
Just trust me, it'll never happen again.
And if there's nothing else you have to say, then you're free to walk out that door where you stripped naked and walked in. You can keep the towel.
I'll just meet you in the laundry room.
That's fine.
Once he gets his clothes back on, he walks outside and is arrested by that camouflaged officer.
Police take it down!
What? That was a dream? A fever dream, if anything. Well, I guess that's the way this one ends, folks. I want to give a shout out to our channel members: Dummy Data, 40-Year-Old Decoy, Don Delieta, Streaming Analytics, Duncan, Dubsy CC, Aerodo, Stupidiot, Ramiro-san, Cali Lady, Ryan Pack, and of course our big tuna, That's Thing One. Also, special thanks, as always, to our patrons.
Gummy Data, Kelp Pill, TechRec 71, Cat G, Westmost, Michael's TCAP Channel, Ramiro San, M1A, Recipes of Redemption, Aerodough, Graham Graham, Dr. K, Joey's TCAP Channel, Uriel Gray, Moody Booty, The Lorne Identity, Nathan Ramon, Rhoda's Chewed Tootsie, Saul, Patrick TCAP Ireland, Mr. E, Sia J Dev, Julie, After Supper Biscuit, Callie Lady, Lizard American, Lyle Lanley 99, Aaron Elijah, Dick Hungwell, Noel, That's Thing One, a guy named Kevin, Sprinkle Cake, Burnout Cold, one of those weirdos, Patty Woodward, Matt Willis, Mrs. Apples, Heisenberg White, Andrew Apple, Micah G, Johnny Utah, Duncan P, and the bus driver that takes us all to school, Gooey Hoo.
Yeah, so that's it for Fort Myers, folks. We'll have to wait and see what's waiting in the wings. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hell, hit that bell notification. Whatever you can do, every time. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.
And now a short reading from the chat log of one Crazy Trini. You think you can handle a D in you, though?
Probably. Everyone else does.
I'm not average size, though.
I only saw one, so I don't know what average size means.
You know how big it was in inches?
Well, I actually didn't have my ruler with me that night. What do you guys do? Sit around and measure your junk?
Yes, we do. But I gotta get to know you first, so the first time we hang out, we'll just chill.
KK.
You could give me a blowy, though.
I know how to do that for sure. And you bring condoms in case we chill fast.
Condoms? No, honey. You're gonna take it raw.
Raw? What's that?
No condoms. If I was 100%, you wouldn't get preg. Would you let me come in you?
How can you be 100%?
I'm in med school. I know how to time it.
Oh, cool. You're like a doctor.
I will be.
Then you can, 'cause you know how to do it right.
How about honest sex?
You mean like in my butt?
Yes.
OMG, I'm thinking that would hurt.
Only for like the first 2 minutes. Then it's better than reg sex. I'll be there by like 2.
Cool.
You have money?
Yeah?
You gonna help me out with gas?
Sure.
You have any cute friends you can invite to have a threesome? Do you have any pets?
A cat.
Aw. Boy or girl?
Boy.
You know what would be a huge ass turn on for me?
What?
Watching you F him.
I don't think I want to F the cat, thank you.
Would you do it for me? People do that stuff all the time.
I don't even know how to F you. Now I gotta learn how to F the little kitty? You crazy, man.
I'll help you. You do it for me?
Probably not.
How about suck his little kitty D?
We'll talk about it.
Say whip. Whip. Now say Cool Whip. Cool Whip.